Hello everyone, welcome to part 2 of this Oblivion 2017 Ultimate Graphics tutorial, the mod list from Bevi Lex. And in the last part we did install the essential tools like Rybash, Oblivion Mod Manager, Oblivion Script Extender and Boss. And yeah, something that we need to keep in mind now is this very important order every time you're installing mods with Rybash. And that's first install it in the installer tab with Rybash. Then afterwards we need to check the ESP in the mods tab in Rybash if it has an ESP, if the mod actually has an ESP. And then afterwards we need to run bus to sort our load order. And as the last step we need to rebuild our bashed patch. So, okay, yeah, this sounds a little bit like Chinese maybe if you never use Rybash, but it's pretty simple. So this part, stability mods, Oblivion Script Extender, plugins, fixes and patches are necessary for a very stable foundation for, for our Oblivion. So the first mod is Oblivion Stutter Remover. Okay, what you want to do now is open Oblivion Stutter Remover. That's the mod page. Then go to Files or Download Manual. And you want to have this version, Oblivion Stutter Remover 4.1/37. And make sure you download that file. Okay, and after you did download it, and I'm going to show you that my folder structure is now. I did create this folder 02 with stability plugins, etc. And there I saved everything from this tutorial part in there. And as you can see, I numbered it, and the first one is Oblivion Stutter Remover. Alright, okay. Now I have to show you something. Go here to the installers tab, and what you can do then is you can drag and drop Oblivion Stutter Remover inside here. And now it is actually asking this, the message I mentioned at the beginning. It's been asking you have to drag the following into Rybash. What would you like to do with them? And move or copy. And definitely make sure you select copy, because else you have to create a backup of all of your mods. So select copy. Alright, and as you can see here, now we have Oblivion Stutter Remover here. And once you activate it, no, sorry, you have to right click on it and click on install. Yeah, sorry, it's been a while since I installed a mod with Rybash. Let's see, and it's been asking it's a plugin, and that's normal because Oblivion Stutter Remover comes with a plugin. Are you sure you want to install this? Yes, we are sure. And yeah, maybe you have to click it a couple of times because it installs multiple plugins. And as you can see, let's see, does Oblivion Stutter? No, it doesn't come with an ESP, so that's fine. And if we check our checklist again, we have installed the mod, we have to check for an ESP, and you have to run bus to sort your load order. But since this is our first mod, we don't have to worry about that. And then we need to rebuild our bashed patch. Well, for now, let me show you how to do that for once the bashed patch. Make sure you activate it, by the way, because it's important you activate the bashed patch. And just right click on it and click on this rebuild patch. And yeah, this is you can leave it on default. The last time I did checked a couple of these boxes more, but yeah, let's just leave it like this and click on build patch. And it's maybe taking a while depending on the mod, so now it's probably going to be pretty fast, but the further we come into Rybash and modding, it will take a lot longer. And as you can see, it's now been finished. But yeah, that's not everything for Oblivion Stutter Remover, because we also need to let's see, we need to replace the ini file, and what we need to do now is we need to go to Files, and Bevi Lex here has various ini files. You want to download those ini files. That's a big package. Let's see, and I think I did save them, yeah, here in my just general folder for the Oblivion Bevi Lex, because all these ini files are for multiple mods. So in there you will find this folder and also the Oblivion Stutter Remover ini file, and you can actually just go to your Oblivion data folder. Let's see where it is. Here it is. Sorry, your Oblivion, yeah, your Oblivion data folder, but not the data folder, just the Oblivion main game folder, I should say, perhaps. And let's see if this file structure is correct. So data, Oblivion Script Extender, plugins. Yeah, okay, it's correct. And here you will probably find the Stutter Remover ini. Okay, so just replace it. And okay, let's check. And let's see what Bevi Lex says more about what we need to do with this ini file. because we need to set the frames per second, because Oblivion Stutter Remover is also a frames per second manager. So, okay, I just tweaked some of the heap settings. The FPS is also kept at 45. Okay, that's fine. Let me check, because I actually had problems with the frame manager. Let's see, let's search for the value of 45. Here it is, maximum FPS. Well, first of all, I do set it to 60 FPS, but for some reason Oblivion Stutter Remover gives me still a cap of 30 FPS. So what I did is I disabled the FPS manager, and let's see, I need to, what I did is just set this value to 1, so manage FPS to 0, because for some reason it's still capping my frames per second to 30. Then you want to save your ini file, and then let's go in game to see if we actually do have 60 FPS to start with. So what you can do is just close everything and launch your Oblivion. Where is it? Here it is. And then I'll see you guys in game to see if everything works fine. So start your Oblivion and see you guys in game. So welcome in game. Once you're in game, and as you can see, I did start a new game for testing purposes again. And what you want to do, you want to type in the console TDT, and that will display the frames per second in the upper right corner. So just walk around a little bit to see you have maximum of 60 FPS and no capture of 30. And if you do have, that means you don't have a 30 FPS limiter. So that's fine. And then you can return to the desktop. And for now everything seems to work fine with Oblivion Stutter Remover. Alright, I did set my frames per second to 60, but you can also leave that to 45. It is a little better stable, and if your computer can't handle 60 frames per second after this modding anyway, just leave the max cap to 45. But again, I'm going to leave it at 40. I'm going to leave it at 60. Then, if you're having problems, now you can try these fixes. Change the heap size to 512 and test, and else you can disable the be replace heap to 0. But only do this if you have problems already. Then apply these fixes. Then we have even more heap, so there's also a mod for that. Download it here. So follow that link, download this little file, and then we can just extract it inside our Oblivion main game folder. So let's open up both folders. I do have a 4040p monitor, so I should use my big screen more sometimes. Let's see, here's the Oblivion main game folder. Here is our folder structure. This is the more heap folder. It only comes with a DLL file, so drag and drop it here inside our Oblivion main folder. Okay, and let's see, did that do the trick? Version, that DLL, is it here already? I don't see it. Where are you? Paste in here. Okay, now it seems to work. Version.dll. Okay, then we need to do some changes to that as well. Copy to, and when starting the game, a more heap file should be created in the same folder. Change the default values to 786. So what we want to do now, we want to start our Oblivion again, close it, and wait for the file to be created. So let's do that now. Alright, once you close the game, now we should have a generated ini file, and let's see what its name is. Alright, more heap. We're starting a more heap file should be created in the same folder. Okay, let's see if it's here. More heap.ini. Yeah, okay, great. Now we need to change that to 512, and let's see. Change the default values into 768. So for both values, change it to 768. Here as well, 768. All right, save it and close it. All right, and that's everything for more heap. Okay, then we have this mod here, engine bug fixes. Let's see what we need to do. This is an Oblivion script extender plugin. Okay, we can manually install it in our Oblivion script extender plugins folder. So download this this file. Then let's go to our. Let's see where it is. Let's see, this one is it. Engine bug fixes. It comes with the data Oblivion script extender. Yeah, you can actually just drag and drop it here in the main game folder because this folder structure is the same as the game one, and now it should. And let's double check that for now to see everything went fine. Data. Let's see, what was it? Data plugins. Oblivion script extender. Yeah, here it is. Plugins. Oblivion script extender plugins. Engine bug fixes. Yeah, okay. Everything is going well if you do it like this, so that works fine. Okay, then we have also installed that mod. Let's double check if that works. This is an Oblivion script extender plugin. Okay. Okay, then we have 4GB RAM patcher. A nice little program to make sure all of our Oblivion stuff is actually capable of running with 4GB of RAM or more. Download it as well in your system programs file. And I already did do that, or at least I should have done that. So let's see, here it is, 4GB plus. And let's see, okay, we need to extract everything first before it can run. And this is this little nice tool. Okay, and now it will search for now you can search for executable files that you want to have 4GB RAM patch. So we want to do that with oblivion.exe. Okay, then we want to click on another file. We want to do that for the launcher as well. We want to do that for Oblivion Mod Manager while we're in this folder. And let's see, that's pretty much it, I think. Yeah, that should do the trick. Okay, great. Then you can close this 4GB patcher as well. All right, and let's see. Yeah, okay. We can close this one. And then we have some Oblivion script extender plugins. Alright, so we have this plugin starting with Blockhead, which is required for Oblivion Character Overhaul version 2. Click on Files, download the latest version, which seems to be version 10.3. Okay, let's open up another instance of all the mods. And we were at Stability Plugins, yes. Blockheads, and let's open up our Oblivion game folder with that as well. And that's here. Okay, so let's see, data Oblivion script extender. We can now just drag and drop this folder here from Blockhead. Alright, and that's fine. We can then download the next mod, and that is menu queue. Required from some other mods to work. Okay, click on Files. I have to check for myself what I actually have. Version 16B, okay. Does Bevi Lex also says that here? No, okay, 16B. And I think I've done that because, yeah, that's the latest version. So download that version of menu queue. Menu queue, here it is. And this data folder should be correctly. So drag and drop it here. Drag and drop it into the main game folder so the folders are the same. Alright. Cool, that was menu queue. Then we have fast exit, which is really nice mod because when you start modding Oblivion and you don't have this mod, then every time you exit Oblivion, it will give you an error message. It will crash in Windows, and then you will have to go to your task manager and close it manually a couple of times. It's really annoying. So this is a great mod. Fast exit 2, download it. Then the same way, we're going to install it manually. Again, I seem to lose one of my folders. Stability plugins, etc. Fast exit, here it is. Also comes with data and source. So we want to copy those two folders and drag and drop it into our Oblivion main game folder. Alright. And let's see, do we have any more folders? Any more Oblivion script extender plugins? Yes, we do have Pluggy. Download and install Pluggy version 1.32. And that's this one, Pluggy Dev version 1.32. Okay. Pluggy, here it is. Okay, it actually comes with doesn't come with a file structure, so we need to probably do this manually. We need to put it into data, Oblivion script extender plugins, and then we need to drag and drop it here in the plugins folder. That should be pretty much it. Now let's double check if that's correct, because these steps are pretty important to have a stable Oblivion. Let's see. Extract them into your plugins folder, Oblivion data, Oblivion script extender plugins. Yeah, you can drag and drop it here. That's fine for pluggy, so that's good. Then the next mod is Alias Universal Silent Voice. No idea what this mod is doing, but you can check the description. But I believe that is just a Oblivion script extender plugin, so that's fine. We want to have, I think, the latest version. Let me double check on that. And that is version 93. Yeah, 93. Download that folder as well, that mod. Here it is. Alright, and this all needs to be put into your plugins folder here, so make sure to do that in your Oblivion main game folder, your data folder, Oblivion script extender folder, plugins folder. Sorry about that. Let's see what we have more plugins. Then we come to the unofficial patches. So the unofficial patches, yeah, I'm assuming that you guys have the Game of the Year edition, so that you have all DLC. Else you need to check for yourself what you need to deactivate now. But I suggest you get the Game of the Year edition. It's only a couple of euros, only a couple of dollars on multiple GTA sites or whatever. You know, just check a key site, maybe check the Steam sale once in a while, and you probably have it on sale for a couple of euros. So I suggest, to avoid any problems, get the full version of Oblivion. First one is the unofficial Oblivion patch, the main one. Click on Files, download it, and we also need to download this file, I think. Not yet. No, we're going to do that when we're going to install Cold Textures Pack. So only download the unofficial Oblivion patch, and now we can use Rybash for this. So here's Rybash. Alright. Drag and drop unofficial Oblivion patch to the installers tab, which I'm doing wrong right now. This is the installers tab. I had the mods tab open, so drag and drop it in here, and let's wait for it to be copied. And as you can see, my mod is still in my folder, and if I would have picked when Rybash asked if it should copy or move the mods, if I selected move, which I did unfortunately in my first installation of everything, and now these mods will be gone. So that's pretty annoying, so you had to make sure you picked copy when he was asking you for the first time. But anyway, right click on official Oblivion patch, click on install, and it's also saying that it comes with a couple of DLLs. Yeah, we are aware that this mod installs multiple DLLs. Okay, this shouldn't take that long, I think. And else, meanwhile, we can just continue with the next patch, downloading it. And that is Shivering Isles patch for the Shivering Isles, of course. Click on Files, and that's also one patch. You can download that already, because it seems the unofficial Oblivion patch is taking its time. Okay, that's fine. Okay, let's see. Now the DLC patches for the other DLCs, download that full file as well. Okay, and then let's see what it's been asking here. Drag and drop into the installers tab. Okay, check the ESP files. Yeah, we are aware of that. Install them, activate ESP, and have to be loaded after the base DLC, but we can use bus. Yeah, okay, that's fine. So, okay, let's wait for the unofficial Oblivion patch to be finished installing. Yeah, here it is. Very good. Then we have the Shivering Isles patch. Drag and drop that as well. Right click on it and click on install. I thought it was a little bit less data, but let's wait for it. See you guys in a bit. Oh, or not. Here it is already, I think. 3, 2, 1. Alright, I waited a little bit for it. And then the unofficial DLC patches. So let's install those as well. And let's wait. Alright. If you remembered the steps which we needed to do, install it in the installer steps. We did. Then check the ESP files. And as you can see, we do have a load of ESPs here, which we all need to activate. Yes, perhaps we're not picking them in the correct order, so that's fine, because we need to run boss anyway. for sorting out our ESPs. So also once we do that here, we need to run bus. So click on this icon, which we did create, and then select the number for your Oblivion. In my case, that's 0. All right, and now bus is working, and that's, as you can see, you see a small overview of this. And I'm not really sure why Rybash is not working with loot, because loot is a lot better, I think, but it's fine, you know, it works, so we're just gonna stick to bus. All right, and then we need to rebuild our best patch. So let's maximize Rybash, and as you can see, it's turned in orange because there are so many changes that are not correctly right now without recreating the bash patch. Right click on it, click on rebuild patch again, and as you can see, there is a mod that should be deactivated before we can build this patch. And this will happen a lot, unfortunately, with some of the other deals, with some of the other ESPs. So after we did rebuild a bash patch, we need to not to forget that we reactivate these ESPs. But for now, click on OK and click on build patch, and let's wait a little bit. Alright, then press OK, and as you can see, the checkbox turned to green, which means the bash patch has been rebuilt successfully. Now test your Oblivion, see if everything runs fine without any crashes, and that means we have successfully installed the unofficial Oblivion patches. So do that now, and then I'll see you guys in a bit. Alright, so welcome back to the desktop. Everything should have run fine, you should have no crashes, so that's great. By the way, it's a good thing we did install the fast exit, because else we already got a first crash when we did exit Oblivion, so that's good. Alright, we only have a couple of plugins left, and don't worry too much about this. This was actually the most complicated part of it, and only Oblivion Reloaded needs some ini fixes, but for the rest everything is pretty straightforward, so don't worry too much with everything here you encountered so far. Alright, then let's see, we have Curity Cleanup still, which we need to install. Cleanup, click on Files, download the latest version here. Then let's see what the installation instructions are. Install it with Rybash, so yeah, let's do that first, then open up Rybash. Here it is. Okay, then let's open up our mods, and here is Cleanup. So we can go back to the Installers tab and drag and drop it here. Cleanup, right click and install it. Okay, then let's see what we need to do. Open up the ini file located at Oblivion data ini. Okay, we can do that. We can. So go to your Oblivion game folder, Oblivion data. So this folder, Oblivion, the data folder, the ini folder, and let's see the main ini file. I think we need to open. Yeah, here it is. Okay, then let's see. Change the first line to the following. Set KCU quest.clean actors to 0. Okay, change that to 0, save the file, then exit it, and it will avoid potential issues with actors tagged as quest items. Okay, that's a nice one. Then this one is if we don't, it's a mod that we only can use if we're not going to use an EMB, but we are going to use an EMB, so we're going to skip this CTD and memory patch EM boost. And the last mod is NVAC for Fallout New Vegas. It officially was an anti-crash file, but it also works with Oblivion because the engines are pretty much the same. Isn't that wonderful? Alright, so let's download it, and it's not really a hard installation. Click on Files, then download New Vegas anti-crash, and what we need to do is simply copy the DLL file to your Oblivion script extender folder. So, but whoops, don't want to have that. Let's see, here it is. Faux mods, no. New Vegas, yeah, okay. Plugins. So we need to go to our Oblivion game folder. Let's copy this first. Okay. Oblivion data. Oblivion script extender plugins. Yeah, here it should be. And now we do have an anti-crash. Let's see, double check that. Oblivion data, Oblivion script extender plugins. Yeah, that's fine, that's fine. Okay, that was pretty much it for this part. Again, this was one of the difficult parts from this tutorial. The next textures and all are pretty easy. They can all be installed with Rybash. And yeah, I hope to see you guys at the next part, and take care and bye bye.